Today I'm going to show you some ways to stop basses played with open strings. Stopping the basses is very important in order to give harmonic clarity during a performance. Knowing when to stop a bass depends on various factors, which are the duration indicated in the score, the historical period you are playing. In fact, in some periods, the musical writing for guitar did not always specify the exact duration of a bass, so it is up to us to make certain decisions. And lastly, the personal taste and the effect you want to create in a certain musical moment. We could say that generally we are more likely to let a third or a sixth to vibrate, while it is usually more acceptable to have a fourth or a fifth sounding together due to the resonance of the respective harmonics. Now, as far as basses are played with both hands, it is generally easier to have control over their duration by the left hand pressure. On the other hand, when we find ourselves having to stop one or more basses located at the open strings, there are some techniques that we can alternate. I will show them to you in this video so that you can choose the most suitable for you to use each time. First, we can divide the best movement of the open strings into consecutive and non-consecutive. And ascending and descending. In the case of basses that are not consecutive to each other, the techniques to stop them are returning to the string you want to stop immediately after playing the next one. Playing the two notes with two different fingers, for example, thumb and index fingers, and return to each string with the same finger you just used. Stopping the bass with the help of the left hand. In the case of ascending basses, with the palm of the hand. We use the inner part of the hand near the thumb, positioning it on the string when we want to stop it. In the case of consecutive basses, the options we have are here as well, return to the string you've just played, playing the notes with different fingers, stopping the bass with the help of the left hand, in the case of an ascending bass, we can stop the note we have just played by touching it with the outer part of the thumb while we play the next one. I'll show you in slow motion. In the case of a descending bass, we can instead choose to do a rest stroke to easily stop the string we just played. And finally, let's not forget to mention that you can always use your nose if none of those options work for you. Finally, having a big nose, or as we Italians say, an important nose, comes useful. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching and arrivederci.
Hey there everyone, my name is Ashley Lucero. I'm a guitarist and a composer, and today I'm going to teach you how to write a lost etude. This is a really common compositional device to help people get started with composing. You know, as we're searching for our own voice, we just need some help along the way, so this is a great place to start. As you can see, I already chose my etude that I'm going to use for this exercise, Leo Brouwer's Simple Etude number 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it like a model from, you know, beginning to end, and use it to help me create a complete piece, which is often the hardest thing, finishing a piece and being able to say, I did it, right? Instead of having all these unfinished ideas all the time. So you may know about how to do score study, but I'm going to show you a little bit of how I would do score study if I'm trying to imitate this piece, which I did, and I'll show you the result at the end of this video. So first thing I'm going to look at is structure, right? I know that I of course start with my A section, and I look for if I have repetition of that A section, which I do. We have the A section returned down there. And then I have this sort of contrasting section, and so my form is this A, B, A. Then I start to look at the texture. Okay, so I already know that based on Brouwer's instructions that basically our melody is in the bass, right? Haha, basically. And above our melody, we have these sort of chordal accompaniment notes that are ringing between. Another thing, right, if I play through it, right, is this C natural, which is changed to a C sharp. We all like that. It really gets our ear there, right? So I have to really point that out, make sure I'm like, yeah, I know how Brouwer did that. I know how he caught my ear. Then I would continue, right? Here's my change. And what I'm noticing in this B section is now, instead of it being a melodic bass accompanied by these upper voices, now instead I have this sort of call and response, right? Where instead of it just being the bass singing, we have them speaking to each other. And so now here, you know, I see that Brouwer is moving this figure around, right, chromatically somewhat, more of this sort of pitch alteration, C sharp and F sharp, that change then to C natural and F natural. And I think that, you know, in general, we have a lot of dissonance going on in here. We have this interval of a second. We have this interval of a second going on down here, right? We have this interval of a second. So some nice tasty chromaticism in there. So now let me show you what the finished product would be. So I'm going to turn the page here. And this is what I like to call, I guess, number 1.5. And as you can see, I really emulated the same texture. I also added that pitch alteration where it starts out as a C natural and it changes to a C sharp, right? I added some other little interesting things of my own, like time signature changes. I put in a Brouwer-like scale. So even though I had aimed to imitate the first etude as much as possible, as I went through the writing process, my creativity started to flourish, right? This is a very, very common concept in art where we know that creativity flourishes among restrictions. So let's listen to this piece. I'm not going to try and play it because I wrote it about 10 years ago. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for listening.
Hola a todos, en el vídeo de hoy vamos a hablar de otro aspecto técnico, en este caso de la mano izquierda, y es el tema del vibrato. ¿Para qué se utiliza? ¿Cuál es su función? ¿Cómo lo podemos ejecutar? Empezamos por ¿qué es el vibrato? El vibrato es un recurso estético que podemos incorporar a la música para embellecerla, para destacar alguna nota, para alargar la duración de la nota o de algún acorde. En el barroco incluso se consideraba una forma de ornamentar, ya que implica cierta desafinación sobre la nota real. A la hora de ejecutar el vibrato debemos de considerar varias cosas. Una de ellas es la amplitud del movimiento. Puede ser un vibrato más amplio o un vibrato más pequeño. También otra cosa importante es la velocidad del vibrato. Podemos hacer un vibrato más intenso y más rápido o un vibrato más amplio y más lento. Y también hay que considerar la duración del vibrato y cómo ejecutarlo desde el comienzo hasta el final. No puede ser un movimiento eléctrico y de impulso del momento, ya que tiene que tener un sentido y saber establecer el vibrato dentro de un contexto musical. A la hora de tocar el vibrato es importante que la mano tenga la capacidad y la soltura de tener la libertad de movimiento, ya que, importante, si apretamos mucho con el pulgar de la mano izquierda contra el mástil, el vibrato va a estar más limitado y va a ser un movimiento más tenso, por lo que no vamos a poder controlarlo tan bien. Importante el pulgar, dejarlo de cierta manera relajado. Después tenemos que considerar con qué dedo vamos a hacer el vibrato, si es con un solo dedo o si es con una posición completa o con una cejilla más o un dedo o varios a añadir, que entonces estaremos más limitados. Pero lo importante es que sepamos cómo queremos ejecutarlo. Para ello podemos empezar con movimiento lento o
intentar hacer un vibrato más rápido. ¿Por qué practicar diferentes tipos de vibrato? Depende de la música que estemos tocando, el tempo, el estilo, necesitaremos un tipo u otro. Si estamos tocando un movimiento lento, quizás un vibrato rápido puede sonar fuera de contexto. Por ejemplo, en este pasaje rápido no hay mucho tiempo para hacer un vibrato amplio y lento, por lo que si queremos destacar una nota, como es el sol sostenido, simplemente con un movimiento rápido y corto podemos hacer que esa nota destaque un poquito más sobre las demás. Al final de cuentas es un recurso más que podemos añadir a nuestra interpretación. Es de gran ayuda si queremos destacar ciertas notas o alargar alguna duración, embellecer la música. Cuantas más opciones tengamos y podamos ejecutar, vibrato rápido, vibrato lento, más amplio, más estrecho y eléctrico, mejor que mejor. Y espero que os haya servido de ayuda este vídeo.
Yo everyone, how's it going? Edward Frank Martinez back for you guys, and I'm going to be teaching you guys some more Soleá. And if you didn't see the episode from last week, maybe you want to check back on that one. Today we're going to be building off of that and kind of giving you some more spices. Some spices about rhythm. If you don't know it yet, rhythm in flamenco is called the compás. And it's funny because compás is kind of spelled like compass, and a compass is what guides you, and the rhythm in flamenco is what guides you, literally. The first thing to say about Soleá, it's in 12 count. So there's 12 beats in one cycle. Usually in music we have measures. In flamenco I like to think of it as cycles, and that cycle repeating. And within each cycle you have a set of accents, little stops along the way, and then it continues. And what's incredibly interesting about rhythmic pattern in Soleá, it has the perfect amount of tension and release. So the rhythm would go a little something like this. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you could see with my palmas, the clapping, that I was giving more emphasis on certain beats, and those are called accents. The accents in Soleá are on 12, 3, 6, 8, 10, and 12. 12 is like the ending, and then at the same time, it's starting the cycle over again. What's incredibly interesting about this rhythm, it has space. It has times where it propels, builds tension, and then it releases. What I mean by this is, in the beginning, from 12 to 6, there's space. 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's just 3 accents, 12, 3, and 6. And then once you get to 6, 8, 10, and 12, that's when it starts to propel forward. And then it just reduces. So 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And so just keep this in mind, that it's all just kind of about phrasing and hearing that in your head, feeling that in your body, and letting those accents kind of influence your playing. And so if I was going to play the accents straight, usually in Western music we call this comping. In jazz they call it comping, playing the rhythm. In flamenco they call it marcando, just marking the rhythm, marking the accents and playing around within that. By the way, Soleá is usually in E Phrygian, which is just like the traditional key of Soleá. So the way I would comp this would be something like this. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All I'm doing is every time I hit down, I'm doing a hammer-on with the pinky on the 4th string. Whenever there's an accent, I hit with the golpe, and I give a little more strength with the index finger. So again, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, I have this image in my head of like flamenco players just playing the rhythm, and they're kind of just dancing. Like, it's a really interesting thing because it kind of just like crawls along, kind of just like slithers. That was kind of the straight way of playing it, and now you can play the rhythm in another way, which is basically just swing. And so when you swing, the little pinky swing, within each beat, dun, 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 you have another note that kind of just glitches. And so you have the, and so that creates this unsettling effect. And when you add that with the accents, and you add that with the right hand playing the rhythms, then everything just becomes even more juicy. And that would sound a little bit like this. And now what I'm basically doing is just after each accent, I'm just doing a stronger upstroke with the index finger. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now one last thing you can do is add one more chord, F, C, F, A, B, E. So if you add this one chord on beat 3 in the cycle, so this is normal, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're just static right now, just kind of setting the scene. And now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now once you get to that F major chord, it's just like, ooh. Now to finish off, here's a little musical excerpt that you can rewind and learn.